And now I'm going to talk a little bit about design. I'm going to touch briefly upon the idea of sketches. UX designers create different types of deliverables, which they then share with different stakeholders. Some of these deliverables include things such as sketches, wireframes, and prototypes. In UX design, the designer often has to draw a lot of sketches. Sketching is a way in which the user experience designer can describe their ideas in visual form. There are a number of advantages to sketching, including 1. Multiple sketches are easy to make, and as such, the designer can refine many different sketches easily. By contrast, a digital design package would be very time-consuming to use for the creation of many different sketches. By not spending too much time on any one version, the designer can instead focus on creating numerous concepts. This increases the likelihood of finding innovative solutions. However, if the designer were to use a design software early on, they may improve on the design of the wrong solution rather than finding the right solution to begin with. 2. Sketches usually don't have a lot of detail. By not focusing on creating too much detail for any one idea, sketches allow the designer to generate many different ideas in an efficient manner. Coming up with lots of different sketches is much more important than illustrating one idea into a detailed masterpiece. And 4. It is easy to get feedback on sketches. Sketches allow the designer to take an initial step towards prototyping. And now in regards to wireframes and prototypes, a wireframe is a sketch which shows information structure, functions, and content. It allows one to visualize the changes of state or transitions within the design using a very basic black and white sketch. Wireframes focus on the basics such as what information should be present, what is the layout, how does one transition from one item to another, how does one transition through different levels within the structure. The wireframe also have annotations, which will be notes on the behavior of the product. The wireframe can be made into a prototype. But what exactly is a prototype? A prototype is an interim deliverable between the design and the final product. Prototypes have several functions. By embodying a design into a prototype, we're able to test the design. By making a design more real, it makes it easier to reflect on the strengths and weaknesses of design and whether or not the design meets the objectives required. Prototypes also allow the team to refer to and share ideas about the design, as well as to provide one another with feedback. In addition, one can do user testing or inspection. The wireframe itself can be made interactive in the form of a prototype, which can be tested with the users. The interactive prototype will allow the team to test how users will interact with the site. In addition, it helps developers to understand the required behavior of the design. Developers often have a tough time imagining how a design should behave from supplementary documentation or annotations added to a wireframe. By providing an interactive prototype, the developers can more readily and easily make the mental leap as to what programming models are required to implement the design. Communication is made easier, and consequently, so is implementation.